Well,
Lovely.
I love, one of my favorite materials are these.
The movable alphabet.
Yeah, it's such a really cool. Did I hear someone say movable alphabet?
Oh, you did, Mr. Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about how language and literacy tools are one of the 5 Montessori types of materials everyone needs.
Oh, well, um, what do you do with them?
Oh, these?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so these are some examples of the movable alphabet,
Oh.
and they are just letters. Do you know your letters, Mr. Bunny?
Yes, I do know my letters and the sounds they make, but
You do?
I don't know how to write.
Oh, well, if you know your letters and your sounds, in fact, you don't even need to know the names of the letters in order to write, Mr. Bunny.
Really?
And so let's just do a little practice, just kind of make sure. Can you tell me the sound of this one? That's right.
Yeah.
And how about the sound of this one?
Hmm.
Oops. I dropped that.
Kaput.
This one. Yeah. So, I mean, if you know your sounds, then all you have to do is put them together and make a word. Would you like to try?
I would. I would like to make a word. There's a word I really like.
What is it?
Well, you're gonna think it's silly because it's the word I always like to talk about.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Yeah. It's carrot.
Mr. Bunny?
I love carrots. I can't help it. I think about them in my sleep. I think about them when I'm waking.
Of course.
Right.
Carrots.
I wanna read the word carrot and spell it. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So let's make the word carrot. So I have a whole bunch of movable alphabet tiles here.
Okay.
And let's just lay out a little workspace for us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got this little mat from IKEA last time we were there. It was in their table setting area.
I remember.
Yeah. All right. So I have some movable alphabet tiles.
Yeah.
And just like if I were working with any child, I would probably not give all of them at once, right? So I'm just going to give a few of them, and I'm just going to kind of lay them out at the top of our mat right here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm just going to lay them there, just like in a nice little horizontal row.
Yeah.
So we've got some tiles right here. I'm just going to set them out. And I want to start by this. I want you to say the word carrot.
Carrot.
And I want you to think about the sounds that you know and think about what sound comes first in the word carrot. What do you hear? You hear k. That's right.
Yeah.
So look at our mat. Do you see a letter that would go along with the sound k?
Yeah, it's this one.
You see this K.
Yeah.
All right, we'll put it right here. K does say k. Okay.
Yeah.
What comes next when you hear the word carrot? Carrot.
It's an
You hear an
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you see an that you could put?
Yes, right there. Yeah.
Okay, here it is. I'm going to put it right next to the k. And now we'll kind of look at it together. Care. What comes next? Do you think, Mr. Bunny?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see a letter that says
It's that one. Yeah. Yeah. The Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it's
carrot. Okay.
Carrot. Yeah.
You hear the t.
I do. I hear a t sound.
All right. And do you see a t?
I do. It's right here.
There it is. All right, here it is. Now comes the fun part, Mr. Bunny. We get to read it together. And
Yes.
this is the way we do it. So I'm going to take my finger right here. And as we read, we're going to move our finger across the word. Are you ready?
I am, yeah.
Okay. Start here.
Carrot.
Carrot.
Wow.
It's
Oh boy.
you wrote it.
Oh wow, that was pretty awesome. Not the very best, but the second best.
Pretty good.
Yeah, do you know what the very best is?
What?
Eating a carrot.
Oh, I bet you want to go eat a carrot right now, Mr. Bunny.
I certainly do. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, Mr. Bunny. Well, friends, I hope you noticed that carrot is not spelled correctly. Did you notice that? Okay. Now part of that is because I only just got out a few letters of that movable alphabet. I didn't get out the whole movable alphabet box. And if I were starting this lesson with a younger child who was just learning their letters, we'd probably start with like easy CBC words.
Yeah, we wouldn't start with the word carrot, but if child wants to read carrot.
But Maria Montessori actually said you should start with whatever word your child wants to write first.
That's right.
And so our modeling here today was usually we would have the whole set of letters. If I were doing this with a child with predetermined words, cat, mat, sat, I would actually take those letters out of the box and put them at the top of the mat, just like we did here today. But what we ended up was K-R-U-T, K-R-U-T, which does not spell carrot.
That's right. It does not. But I noticed you didn't tell Mr. Bunny that he was wrong.
Never. No.
Why is that?
In Montessori, we have a rule. And that rule is never correct the child. I know. And this is actually really hard for parents.
Yeah, because I mean, aren't you now teaching the child that carrot is spelled with a K-R-U-T?
That is how parents feel. They really do feel that way. They look at this, K-R-U-T, and they're like, I can't lie. Am I lying to my kid? It makes you feel like you're lying. I promise you, it's not lying. These letters do say k, t. They read carrot. Spelling is something that we have decided culturally on.
Yep.
And it is different from oral language, right? So when we say the word carrot, we're hearing the sounds k, a, right? Or ut. But when we're writing it, we're using a conventional spelling system. And that's not what we're teaching children when they're learning to write. We're not teaching them spelling at all. And so this is spelled perfectly fine if we're just talking about phonetic spelling, and that's what we're teaching children in the beginning.
Yeah, in fact, one of our topics is writing before reading, because this is actually a process that you follow in order to get to literacy, is helping them sound out these letters.
Right.
And so you're right. Like, I can imagine as a parent, like, oh, I taught my child to spell carrot and it's K-rut. Now they're going to go around spelling K-rut, K-rut. No, that's not how you spell carrot. It's K-rut.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
The question is like, when do I get to teach them that it's a C and not a K? And the answer might be never. Eventually, if you do this right and you're exploring writing freely and you're having fun and you're not correcting their spelling at all, eventually your child is going to be a reader. And the truth is, the more of a reader they are, the better of a speller they are. And so they themselves will discover the C. They're probably going to discover it on the carrot bag itself, and that will be their discovery and their Montessori.
It's amazingly powerful.
It is. It's so much more powerful than if you were to say, oh, actually, it's not a K.
It's the way it always is with learning. Like, the key to exceptional teaching is to create situations where the learner comes to the aha moment. You guide them through it. That is actually what all the materials and the lessons and all the stuff that we've been talking about really are about. They're about creating an environment where the child can have that aha. And so this is a great example of that. They're going to have spelled carrot, and they're going to feel like, yeah, I can learn, I can read. Then they're going to pick up a book, or they're going to be in the grocery store, and they're going to see a carrot in a bag, and they're going to see that it's spelled C-A-R-R-O-T, and they're going to be like, oh, that's how you spell carrot. What else is spelled like a C? And they might start to ask, and they might like care, careful, right? And the world just begins to open up, and it's an amazing thing. And you allow that to happen when you allow them to explore and learn, even if it's not the right way.